The Amish are among the less contemporary groups in which questions about personal matters, particularly those pertaining to one's interpersonal life, are not common. Many people, nevertheless, are unaware of the covert activities carried out by Amish women. Digging further into their society, we discover how strict rules impact every facet of their lives, from the norms governing their physical appearance to the rites associated with reaching adulthood. Prepare to be shown a planet entirely unlike our own. Number 5. Absence of images. Imagine a world without selfies. I realize that sounds utterly ridiculous. No, I woke up like this moments, selfies, belfies, or hot dog legs on the beach. That's just how Amish women roll. Why? Among the Amish, there are grave worries about photos. The term graven image refers to more than just a picture when referring to an Amish person's photo. Could you please define a graven image? Since it essentially turns the subject of the photo into an idol, the Amish view this as a serious sin. You won't likely ever come across an Amish woman posing for a picture. The Amish, like popes, astronauts, presidents, celebrities, and even animals, prefer to stay in the background and avoid the selfie fad. It is challenging to say, though. One day, perhaps, the Amish will share some somber pictures taken with their horse-drawn carts on social media. We will be there if they choose to be in the photo ops. The Amish people, both men and women, avoid cameras like the plague. Posing for a picture is frowned upon since it conveys an air of ostentation. The Amish place a great emphasis on humility, and speaking up is contrary to their way of thinking. It's important to note that not every Amish person views this regulation the same way. More agreeable individuals will pose for photos as long as they don't steal the show. Achieving success requires finding a balance between giving everything you have and not letting pride get in the way. And there's the opportunity for unposed pictures. Some Amish people are okay with having their photo taken as long as it's not part of an official event. The stance itself is insulting, not the picture in and of itself. And if you catch a woman off guard, she might agree to an unplanned photo shoot. The Amish continue to follow their traditions in spite of the curious onlookers of selfie-crazed social media users. It's about being authentic and not letting pride get in the way, not about being awkward in front of the camera. While the rest of the world is engrossed with taking pictures, the Amish preserve a way of life unaffected by photography, allowing them to enjoy simplicity even in their approach to shooting pictures. In our image-obsessed culture, the Amish continue to live a simpler, less photographed life, which provides a welcome perspective. It's evident that they respect simplicity whether or not they join in on the selfie trend. 4. No haircutting. One characteristic of Amish culture that sets them apart is the custom of not cutting their hair. I understand getting a haircut is a necessary aspect of maturing. No, and I'll explain why among the Amish, that is. Biblical tradition holds that a woman's hair is her most precious possession. It is more than a collection of threads. God has given it something sacred. The deeply religious Amish women fully support this viewpoint. You won't find an Amish woman looking through hair magazines in her salon. Their hair, however, has a different growth pattern and is long and flowing. Buns or braids are a popular hairdo among Amish women, but there's a catch: they won't allow them to fall. Every time they leave the house, they don a white bonnet or cap. Wearing it is a symbol of respect and humility for their hair, which is seen as a holy blessing. Amish women believe that getting a haircut is against God's will and their firmly held religious convictions. Fads are not as significant as faith and devotion. This is a practice that could last a lifetime. For the rest of an Amish woman's life, no snips are required. The Bible forbids shaving a woman, and the Amish take this literally. On the other hand, an Amish woman's long hair symbolizes her dedication to her values. It's an odd journey where hair and religious devotion collide, but women are not the only ones subject to severe rules. The Amish also have their own rules that restrict men's freedom. Beards after marriage have to stay untrimmed. It also represents a dedication to maintaining the distinctive practices and beliefs of the organization. The Amish have very strict hair restrictions that go beyond simple guidelines about hair length. Not only do they not have haircuts, but they also don't shave in some places, like their legs and underarms. In this holistic perspective, every hair strand is cherished as a sacred emblem, a guarantee that God is present. Strangely, the Amish consider the act of chopping off a woman's hair to be just as much of a hate crime as the most horrific ones. It's not just a matter of personal preference, it's ingrained in their beliefs. In fact, there have been instances where someone has been put on trial for the violent or dishonest act of chopping off an Amish woman's hair. It is evident that the Amish place great importance on this ritual. The next time you consider getting a new haircut, keep in mind the Amish method of haircutting, which infuses religious devotion into every single strand. The Amish are assisted in preserving their identity and beliefs by this practice. Immersed in tradition at every point, an Amish woman's hair journey takes on significance as a religious symbol rather than just a question of personal preference. Third, lack of formal education. Imagine an Amish youth where the 8th grade is the final year of obligatory education. Yes, you read correctly. The only prerequisites are an awareness of Amish culture and an avoidance of textbooks and schooling. For many Amish males, practical education comes next after 8th grade. They might pick up all the knowledge they need about farming and the complex processes involved in tilling the soil on a farm. A different choice would be for them to work as apprentices in nearby companies, where they could pick up skills that would eventually enable them to support their family. For Amish youngsters, education is more than just reading about the outside world. It's also an opportunity to acquire the skills necessary to preserve their distinctive culture and way of life. We're going to concentrate on Amish women now. For them, official education ends in the 8th grade, despite the fact that their paths diverge substantially. There is a catch. Students must leave their teaching position as soon as they get married, even though some may decide to pursue careers in education after completing the 8th grade. Once they complete their elementary schooling, the majority of Amish women focus entirely on household duties. The Amish believe that formal education is unneeded beyond the 8th grade since by the age of 14, they have grown out of the sound of school bells. They believe that this degree gives them all the information required to thrive in Amish society. This idea is widely accepted in their culture and is ingrained in their religion. In actuality, the Amish have prevailed in their appeal before the U.S. Supreme Court because they claimed that more instruction was unnecessary and went against their religious beliefs. Since most Amish students attend Amish-run schools, high school and college education are alien notions in the Amish educational system. Imagine a school run by Amish people where children are taught traditional topics and the principles of their way of life. By emphasizing cooperation and subordination, their curriculum develops character in addition to intelligence and conformity with community standards. The average Amish girl begins attending school when she is 5 or 6 years old, and the doors to the classroom close by the time she is 13 or 14. Most Amish women stop caring about school after that. During those crucial years, instead of learning more, they wind up instructing others. However, they revert to the traditional conceptions of homemaking and housewives. Amish women embark on a journey of self-discovery after reaching 14 while being expected to submit to their spouses at an early age. Their education is assessed based on the abilities and values that support their distinct way of living rather than their academic record. It's a way of life where the quiet strength that underpins Amish culture, the discipline of daily work, and the ability to raise a family are all expressions of the knowledge and skills learned in school. Number 2, inappropriate wedding attire. Now let's look at how creative Amish weddings are, where the bride participates actively and offers her own ideas. Amish women, understandably enough, frequently take matters into their own hands when it comes to selecting the ideal wedding gown. The Amish wedding dress is not just unusual, but it is also viewed as a display of conceit and conceit. Instead, the colors that are liked are blue and indigo. The color blue is a representation of the Amish principles of honesty, integrity, and dedication. The use of indigo, a color frequently associated with heaven and eternity, accentuates the garment's spiritual connotations. The bridal dresses they weave themselves are a beautiful testament to their talent and dedication to tradition. An Amish bride's wedding dress is a labor of love, driven by a deep appreciation for modesty and simplicity. The dress's modest silhouettes, which stop at the calf, represent a life without frills. The Amish hold that elaborate decorations should not take precedence over the sacred union of husband and wife in basic ceremonies. On the contrary, these wedding dresses aren't just for formal occasions. In actuality, an Amish woman dons her bridal gown 52 times a year on Sundays. It represents a lifetime commitment to one's spouse as well as a connection to one's religion and community. What happens to these bridal gowns after the first weekend of festivities and Sunday brunch? These garments will continue being in use after the wedding because Amish people are renowned for their practicality. Her wedding day white cloak, prayer cap, and apron evolved into clothing that serves as a conduit between the material and spiritual realms. An Amish woman's wedding gown serves as a sign of enduring love and a link to her community's history in a world where fashions change often. First rule, no jewelry or makeup. Let's start by discussing makeup, which is something that a lot of people in the actual world do on a daily basis. On the other hand, Amish people view makeup as more than just a cosmetic choice. Rather, they see it as an affectation from the outside world. The belief is that makeup conceals one's true nature. If they allow themselves to be influenced by the world around them, they fear that they would fall into the traps of worldly pride and vanity. Despite the conventional wisdom that advises against using makeup, there is a small twist to the tale. A solution around this cultural norm for some Amish women is using light makeup. It's a delicate balance, a subdued rebellion inside the parameters of tradition, perhaps a little rouge or lipstick, a gesture to uniqueness within the parameters of societal conventions. We'll then discuss jewelry, which has always been strongly linked throughout history to a person's sense of fashion and self-expression. However, the Amish have a unique perspective on jewelry. This reflects deeper cultural values than just surface-level factors. The Amish view jewelry as useless and vain, much like they do makeup. Imagine an Amish woman. She doesn't have any heavy earrings on her ears, she doesn't wear jewelry, and she dresses modestly. Not wearing jewelry is a conscious decision to uphold cultural customs and modesty. The Amish community places a higher value on internal principles than external decoration, which sets them apart from the surrounding culture. However, Rumspringa gives the story an intriguing twist. When Amish youths reach a certain age, they embark on a discovery journey known as Rumspringa. Indeed, at this time, pupils are permitted to wear makeup, allowing them to explore areas of the outside world that are otherwise off-limits. Amish teenagers try on cosmetics during Rumspringa, amidst the bright colors of the English world. The lines separating one's culture's inside from outside may temporarily blur during this period of exploration. Through cosmetics, the Amish find a way to express who they are and engage with the larger cultural community. I hope this video was enjoyable for you. Until then, see you later.